Hello and welcome to We Are Famous EFC. I'm joined by today former Evertonian Joe Parkinson. Thanks for coming on, Joe. I'd just like to say to you, thank you for taking the time to join me today. And let's start off with a quick, easy question. How's your morning been?
It's not been too bad, really. I've just been trying to organise. I'm actually going to a rugby game on Thursday, believe it or not. Leeds playing Leeds. So I'm just organising that with, been invited down there. So I'm taking a couple of my nephews. So I've just been doing that, really. And I'm off work at the moment. So just chilling and looking after my daughter, doing the normal bits, really. So it's not been too bad, thanks.
Nice. Okay, so let's get straight into these questions now. What or who inspired you to become a footballer?
I think I probably have to say my parents. As far as I can remember, I've always had a football under my arm, walking around the streets, and my dad playing, and my mum. So I presume it was them really that got me into it. And then once I got the bug, I had all the support I could ever wish for off my parents, pushing me forward and taking me all round the Northwest, really playing for football team, and just encouraging me really. And like I say, once I got that bug, it was then down to me, the desire I wanted to whether I wanted to become a footballer. I never thought that when I was a kid. I just loved playing it. And it's only as you get older, people start talking about, well, when I was a kid, it was when you was 14, 15, you went to the Wigan schoolboys, which I was. And then that's when things you start thinking, oh, this could be actually my life, really. So that was it, really. So I've got to say, probably my mum and dad were the ones who pushed, well, didn't push me. They always encouraged me, to play football. And growing up as a kid, I know a lot of people know this, I'm a true Evertonian now, but I grew up as a Man United fan, and Brian Robson was my idol. So as a footballer, he was the one I always wanted to be. I didn't quite make that way, but, he was my idol growing up.
Oh, nice. Okay, you came to Everton from Bournemouth in 1993. What made you choose Everton?
It was weird, really. I'd moved from Wigan. I'd been there since I was 14. And Tony Pulis had took me to Bournemouth. And it was the same season. There was an assistant manager at Bournemouth, Mr. Williams, who went with Mike Walker to Everton, and he must have seen something in me. And I played for Bournemouth the day before, transfer deadline day, up in the West, and we got hammered 5-0, but I actually played quite well. And the next day, the manager knocks on my door at home in Bournemouth saying, do you fancy going to Everton? So obviously I was ecstatic. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I want to join an amazing club? I didn't realise how amazing it was until I became part of the family, really. But it was an opportunity for me that I was back in the Northwest for a start, at a club I've always looked at and watched them win stuff over years growing up. So, no, it was perfect for me.
Nice. Okay, looking back at your time with Everton, what would you say was your favourite game and who was it against?
That's a good one, because, I mean, it's easy to say the cup final, winning it, but I don't think, I played my best there. I could say the semi-final, which was an amazing day as well at Ellen Road, beating Tottenham. But a game I really enjoyed was, I couldn't tell you the date, but it was Southampton at home. I think it was 7-1. I played really well that day. Really enjoyed it. It was comfortable. Everything was going great. So, I think the 7-1 at home, I think, for Southampton.
Wow, amazing that 7-1. During my time, I've never seen Everton win 6 or 7. The maximal is 5, and that is it. But wow.
Yeah, it's great for the supporters. Obviously, I'm on the other side of the fence now. I would love to be seeing matches at 6s and 7s. We can relax, enjoy the game, enjoy the occasion. But unfortunately, we've not been getting any of them recently. But things will change.
Yeah. You got to play with some great players during your time. Did you become good friends with any? And if so, are you still in contact with them now?
Yeah, it's weird, really. our team spirit of that, especially the '95 squad, was unbelievable. It's what got us to where we did, really. Now, we don't really sort of keep in touch, but we were really good friends. And when we see each other at functions, it's as if we've never been apart, really. But it's weird that we don't really keep in touch. But we're, you know, I had some great friends there, and still have, you know. And like you say, the reunion we had, the last game of the season, you know, it was fantastic. You know, Paul Rideout was over. It was just great seeing all them old friends, really. And you know, it was a fitting occasion to say goodbye to Goodison, was it? So I won't say anything stands out, but you know, as a group, you know, we were all good friends, and I think you could see that in the way we all played for each other.
Yeah. You played under Joe Royle. What was he like as a manager?
Yeah, it was amazing. Had a few good managers. Tony Pulis was one that really took me under his wing at Bournemouth. I was only there 5 or 6 months, but he just changed my old attitude, really, to football. I'd gone a little bit stale at Wigan. Then obviously Mike Walker's not fondly remembered really at Goodison, but I'll always be grateful because he brought me to the football club. But then Joe Royle took over. And I've got to say Willie Donachie as well. They were a team and so well together. But Joe Royle just, he was a great manager of players. You know, he didn't really take the training, but he was there for every training session. Willie did the training. But it was just them little words he'd say. He had so much respect from all the players, even the senior ones, from what he'd done and being an ex-Everton player. But what he gave me so much more confidence. The little words of advice here and there. Like I say, he didn't have to say too much. He just brought the club back out the doldrums, really, after, you know, narrowly missing relegation. So Joe Royle was an amazing manager to play under and work with, really. You know, he changed my career. It was only a short one. You know, unfortunately, I got injured, and then obviously he moved on. But you know, as a person, Joe Royle was an amazing manager.
Great. You were part of Joe Royle's Dog of War team. Can you explain what that was about?
Yeah, I think it was after his first match at Goodison. We played Liverpool and we beat him 2-0. I think it was 2-0. Memory's not the greatest. But anyway, we won. It was a night match at Goodison, which you just can't beat, especially against the enemy. I think me and Barry and John Ebrell were just running around tackling everything. I think a bag of crisp blew on. We tackled that. It was just one of them days. And it was the flippant comment from him, just saying the dogs of war. And it stuck. And it's, you know, I've done functions with Joe in the past, and he sort of half regrets saying it. But, you know, speaking to John Ebrell and Barry on, we loved it. You know, people were talking about us in a certain way. And I think opposition teams then come and realise what they were coming up against. So yeah, we enjoyed it, but I think the manager regretted saying it. But it came from that derby day when we just tackled everything that moved.
Yeah, brilliant. You suffered and hang on, sorry. Can you describe your emotions of when you won the FA Cup final in 1995?
Yeah, it's weird because as a young lad growing up, the FA Cup was everything. You know, it started at 9:30 on the BBC, and you'd sit in front of the telly all day mainly watching Liverpool and Everton going to Wembley, and it was everything for me. And then I was there, and I'm playing against a team that I grew up supporting, so it was perfect for me. And obviously we won it, which was just amazing. But you know, this is a little bit soppy, but when you walk out with your suits on, you've seen everyone do it in the past, and you walk out and you see your mum and dad.
Yeah.
That is something I will never, ever forget. I can feel myself getting a bit emotional now. You know, my mum and dad give everything for me. And it was a sort of reward to see them in the stands looking down and hopefully being very proud. So that day and them emotions will never, ever leave me, really. It made me so proud. And then to win the cup, it was just icing on the cake. So it was an amazing day, something I will never, ever forget.
Amazing. How did you feel coming out the tunnel with Zeccar's booming, knowing the crowd was all behind you?
Could you just repeat that, because you just cut off slightly?
I said that. How did you feel when underneath the tunnel playing Zeccar's coming out to listen to the crowd and the team was all behind? How did that make you feel?
It's something else. You're waiting. It's the dead narrow tunnel. You see the Goodison sign above you as you're walking through, and you can hear Z cars, and it still gets me now. I still work at the club match days, and when Z cars comes on the siren, we never had the siren, but when it comes on, all the hairs, on my arms, and just stand up. It's just something you can, it's a dream, isn't it? There's how many around the world who support Everton. There's going to be 50,000 there now. There was 40,000 there when I played, and they all want to be where you are, and you've got to realize what it means to everybody, and I think that just gets you. And I think you've got to understand what it means to play for Everton, and what the fans, they just love to be in your position, won't they? So when you hear them sounds, it still gets me now. It's hard to describe. It's just something you'd love to walk out to, isn't it? I'm sure.
Yeah,
I was lucky enough to do it on a few occasions.
Yeah. You suffered a knee injury in 1996, which unfortunately went on to end your football career. What happened?
Yeah, it was a tackle at training. Nothing malicious, just a little turn, and then I got tackled at the same time, and I just knew I'd ripped my cartilage. Your knee goes really hot. I wasn't in excruciating pain, but I just knew something wasn't quite right. So that's how it started. Something as simple as that. But I'd have an operation, then it'd tear again, and this continued. Get back, it'd tear again. It wasn't quite right, and then it come to a stage where we couldn't do that anymore. I had no cartilage left, so I went over to Sweden and had a pioneering operation, and it was crazy because this guy in Sweden done over 600 operations, and he was doing people who high impact sports, skiers, all this type of thing. So it was the right man to go to, and he even said to me, there's just over 10 people who never got back from it. Unfortunately, I was one of them. It was unfortunate. I had me cartilage regrown, put back in, had a year on crutches. It was a tough few years, 3 years really, before I retired. That the club backed me all the way, but I just couldn't quite get back. Even when I was running pre-season, feeling strong, I just knew there's something wasn't quite right in my knee. I thought it might go away, but unfortunately it didn't. And it come to a stage where I was doing not too many turns. I was turning in training. This was all on my own with a physio, and I just knew it wasn't right. Seek medical advice again, and unfortunately he advised me to retire, which was a shame really. I was only 26 when it was my last game. I was 29 by the time I retired. The 3 years trying to get fit. The club backed me to the hilt, which just shows what a wonderful club this place is. And I retired. I'd won a couple of things which some bigger and better players have never done. So I'm really proud of what I did in the short time that I was at Everton.
You returned back to football after quite a few years by coaching. Was it hard coming back to football scenes after your injury?
Yeah, it was, to be fair. Yeah. In my era, there wasn't really the support that they get now. I was struggling. I think now they get a lot of support mentally and help transitioning into the world. In my time, it was just you get on with it. That's the way it is. And I really did struggle. Went away from football, didn't want to do anything in football. And then I started to get the bug again after years and years of being out of it. And I started doing my coaching badges. And luckily, Preston were the first team. I went over a couple of years there at Preston with the under 6s, under 14s. And then it just progressed really from going on. And then I got the bug. I went to Wigan, ended up doing the reserves there, then the first team. Then I went to Shrewsbury doing the same. Hartlepool, getting them out of the Conference League. That was an amazing achievement to where now I've come out to the professional game. I'm at Everton Football College, head coach there. absolutely loving it. I think this is my 4th year, and just look, it's another branch of the Everton football family, and I'm loving my time there.
Great. What do you think about our new stadium at Hill Dickinson? Well, brand new Moorsh, I should say.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think people are going to be calling it both names, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Years with it being the Bramley Moor, and now obviously the sponsors. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
To watch it go from nothing, that famous traffic cone that the Liverpoolian put there, to what it is now. It is a stunning stadium. It's a beautiful setting. The stadium does it justice. I've been to both of the tester events. I'll be going to the Roma one as well.
Yeah.
The excitement, I ride past it either in the car, having taken my daughter to school, or I go past it on my bike rides, and I'm just absolutely loving it. Can't wait to get in there full time. It's a beautiful stadium. It's going to be difficult for the team because it's an away ground for everyone coming, but we're not used to it. So this year, I think it's going to be difficult. We need the fans. The fans have always been there.
Yeah.
The last 5-6 years have been immense, the fans, and we're going to need it till we get used to the stadium and make it a cauldron again, a Goodison Park, but down on the river.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't get tickets to go to the Roma one, but I'm going to Brighton.
Right. Have you got a season ticket?
What'd you say?
Have you got a season ticket?
No, I've got a membership.
Oh, right. Brilliant. Brian,
Yeah.
so this game's going to be the Brighton one. That's the first home game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're looking forward to that?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, can't wait.
It's amazing because even the test events where they weren't even full, once you walk through the wall, it gets me. The surroundings are stunning, and now obviously the famous walk where all the stones have been laid. Can't wait to see that. But the whole, it's going to be an event going to the games now, isn't it? As much as Goodison, it had its own little ways, didn't it? But this is a new club, and it's going to be an amazing setting. Well, it is an amazing setting, and I can't wait to get used to it.
Yeah. Lastly, I have to ask you, what is your Lastly, I have to ask you, what is your prediction on where Everton will finish this season?
Sorry, you just broke up again, Adam. Sorry.
It's fine. Lastly, I have to ask, what is your prediction on where Everton will finish this season?
Well, like touched on, really, I think it's going to be very difficult because they're going to be like our home games are like away games until we get used to it.
Yeah.
So I would love a good start. I think top half of the table, it'd be amazing for us, and it'd be a massive impression. I'd like to do that early. I don't want to be down there and struggling, and then we get better and better. It'd be great to just get off to a good start and just be pushing. I think all Evertonians, we're not stupid. We're not going to say we want Europe. I think top half is going to be a massive, massive achievement for us in a new stadium. New owners. We've just got to do it step by step, haven't we? And just be hard to beat at home as a minimum, really.
Yeah, agree. I say between 7th and 10th.
Yeah.
It's hard to say 7th because we're Everton and we should be fighting up that off. But I think about 10th to 8th.
Yeah, and I think most people would be pleased with that.
Yeah.
A good. I'm not saying a good cup run. Win a cup. There's no point in a cup run and getting nothing at the end of it, is there? So a winning a cup and top half of the table would be an amazing season for us. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Okay, Joe. It's been a pleasure interviewing you today. So I would like just to say thank you again for coming on my channel.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm always trying to help, obviously, good Evertonians. So it was good meeting you outside the ground.
Yeah.
In whatever you're going to do in the future. It's been great to see you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.